Hey, good afternoon, guys. I'm gonna try to do a quick bait video for you. Just some stuff that I use. It's kind of the way I fish now. I don't have a lot of time to go pre-baiting, put out buckets and buckets and buckets of corn or pigeon feed or whatever the hot ticket item is. So I've kind of adapted my style of fishing to something that's pretty high tracked. I don't know if it's the ultimate high track bait, but it allows me to get to a swim, figure out what I'm doing, looking for fish, doing all, execute on my watercraft, and once I locate where I think fish are going to be, or if I see fish, I go to that point. That enables me to get bait in the water quick, and then also throughout the day, I'm using this same bait as my method, so the bait is constantly being fed throughout the day. So every time I cast out, you land a fish, you chuck out a couple of more. The whole process stays the same. You catch a fish, you put out a couple of spawns. It's the same way with this, just using bait balls, feed and swim all day long, because I use this as my method. So real quick rundown. You can see this there. That's a 4-pound bag of mix. I grind all my mix down, and I package it all up different times because I buy it in bulk. Vacuum seal it. It stays fresh. But I do it in 4-pound bags, and the reason being is I can get about 40-ish balls out of one bag, right? And to show you what the balls look like, I did a batch already. So there's 40 bait balls. As you can see, they're, I don't know, maybe the size of a golf ball and a half, maybe. So you have the dry mix, oats, grits, whatever, binders, breakers, all that kind of stuff. I didn't have breadcrumbs at the time when I did the when I made up my dry mix, so I got to add breadcrumbs now. So Kroger brand, sometimes you can get them 10 for $10. Whatever's cheap, whatever you want to use, panko, breadcrumb, entirely up to you. So in goes a tub of that. So it's roughly, that's almost a pound, so about a 5 pounds of dry mix. Then my wet mix, and you want moisture, so you want all this stuff, is a can of cream corn. Get whatever brand you want, get it on sale, cheap, doesn't matter, cream corn. So get as much out of the can as you possibly can. And all that goes into one bowl that we are going to mix all of our wet ingredients in. Then you got 1 can of whole kernel corn, water and all. Again, moisture is the key to this because you're going to be freezing it, or you can make it fresh and do whatever you want to do. I make them in advance and freeze them. That way I always have bait ready to go. So whenever I get back from a trip, usually the next day, I'll go out and make a couple of batches so I keep everything in stock. So, and like I said, I freeze them, so it's always ready to go. Can of sweetened condensed milk. I didn't show you that. Big hand out of the way. Sweetened condensed milk, whatever brand, cheap, fine, whatever. Carp seem to love sweet stuff, so we give them sweet, right? This bait is nutritional because there's a lot of different things added in the dry mix that I'm not going to disclose. Some I've been asked not to disclose. Some things are just better left unsaid, we'll put it that way. So I'll show you what that looks like. So there's a bowl of all your wet ingredients, and all you're going to do is just stir all that up, mix it good, right? So you got your bucket of dry, all mixed up. I got to mix the breadcrumbs up real quick, and then we'll be putting in our wet ingredients and making bait balls, right? Obviously I'm doing this when Mama's not home, she's at work. Otherwise, yeah, gotta get the kitchen clean before Mom gets home. So we get that all mixed in there good. And now we're gonna mix up the dry. Mixing the breadcrumbs real good. You want everything mixed well. But again, I take my dry, I mix it all up, vacuum seal it, and then I start making my baits. So about half the bowl's gonna go in first, wet to dry. And the reason why I do that is because I want everything coated initially. I don't want to leave anything dry, any clumps of dry mix. So then just get in there and starts washing it around. And you can see that or not. Then I'll scrape down the sides. Again, the key to this bait is keeping the moisture in it. I mean, you don't want it too wet. You want it sticky, but you can add, a little lake water if you have to. It starts drying out on you while you're out fishing. Just get your hands damp. When you go to get ready to bait them out. And I use the Nash bait ball blaster. Most of you guys are familiar with those. I don't have it here with me, or I'd show it to you. But again, that first run, you just want to get all the dry mix incorporated. You want to make sure that you don't have any pockets of dry mix. And then we'll add the rest of the wet. So as you can see, it still crumbles. It's a little sticky, but everything's incorporated. There's no dry pockets of mix, or pockets of dry mix, I should say. And then you want to get as much of this moisture, this mixture, as you possibly can. If you use water, which I do, and I'll show you here in a minute, I keep my hands moist while I'm rolling the balls. It just helps them. It helps me roll them faster. But what I do is I use a little bit of spring water. I use tap water. Some people say it doesn't matter because of the water that's in the lakes these days. May or may not be true. But spring water is basically water that's been purified with vitamins and minerals added back in. So that's why I use spring water. You know, I figure one of the adjustments that I made, I kind of figured that if I'm going to be out fishing, you know, I eat pretty good while I'm on the bank, and I want the fish to eat good. So it has a nutritional profile to it, and I can tweak it for summer or winter. So winter, I add less protein, more carbohydrate, and then in the summer, it's less carbohydrate and more protein. At least that's my understanding of the carp's nutritional value. It mixes up good, and it gets thick. So it gets pretty thick. It packs well. I mean, that's just a light squeeze. So, all right, guys, that's pretty much it. I've already shown you what it's going to look like, but I will roll one for you here real quick, just to show you what I do. Again, I got my water in there, spring water. I take just about, I don't know, golf ball size, maybe a little bit bigger than a golf ball. Hands are moist. The reason why I want it moist is I want that coating on the top, right? So it helps me roll it, comes out just like that, and then put it on the sheet where you saw it before. So I get about 40 of these balls per roughly 5 pounds of mix. If I roll them bigger, obviously you get less. You roll them smaller, you get more. So that goes without saying. But I mean, there's not a whole lot to it, you know. It does take some prep work, but I do it in stages. So like I said, I get all my dry mix, I get it all done, I'll get it all staged up, and then I have everything mixed and ready to go. Cans open like I did here of all my wet mix. And that's it, guys. All right, we'll talk to you later out here.